Welcome! Have you ever heard a story where a simple act of faith could literally feed thousands? Well, today we're jumping into an incredible tale from the Mahabharata. It's a story that starts with a huge, devastating loss, but ends with a miracle that's almost impossible to imagine. Let's dive right in.
And this is where it all kicks off. Not with quiet tears, but with a powerful, chilling prophecy from Draupadi. After being brutally humiliated in public, her vow of vengeance just hangs over the entire epic. It's this constant reminder that injustice, well, it always comes back around.
So to set the scene, the 5 Pandava brothers and their wife Draupadi are forced into exile for 14 long years. They've just lost their kingdom, their riches, they've lost everything in a totally rigged game of dice, all cooked up by their jealous cousins, the Kauravas. Now, as they leave, check this out. Each brother makes a kind of silent promise. It's like a preview of the war that's destined to happen. Yudhishthira, the king of righteousness, is so filled with a justified rage, he's afraid his own eyes could burn the people he's sworn to protect. Bhima, the strong man, just looks at his arms, a clear promise of the battles to come. And Arjuna? He scatters a handful of sand, a haunting symbol of the storm of arrows he's going to unleash one day.
And the people's reaction says it all. This is a massive condemnation of the corrupt rulers. They aren't just sad to see the Pandavas go, they're openly defying the new guys in charge. It just goes to show you, true loyalty comes from virtue. You can't just seize it by force.
So, with the Pandavas gone, a kind of darkness falls over the city of Hastinapura. There's this sense of dread you can almost feel in the air. And it's not just the people, it's like the entire universe is recoiling from this terrible injustice. Nature itself seems to be crying out that something is deeply, deeply wrong.
And what does that look like? Well, you've got lightning from a clear sky, the ground shaking, the sun itself being blotted out. These aren't just a few bad signs. This is the cosmos screaming that a line has been crossed. The message couldn't be clearer. The Kauravas' actions have thrown the entire universe out of balance, and a terrible price is going to be paid.
And just in case anyone somehow missed all those signs, the great sage Narada himself shows up in court. And believe me, he does not mince words. He lays out this incredibly specific prophecy, basically sealing the kingdom's fate and confirming everyone's absolute worst fears.
So how does the court react? Well, it's split right down the middle between fear and, well, total defiance. On one hand, you've got the king, Dhritarashtra, who's just paralyzed with regret. But on the other hand, you have his arrogant son Duryodhana. He doesn't see a warning, he sees a challenge. He completely ignores the divine signs and starts planning for the very war he was just warned about. Okay, so while Hastinapura is getting ready for a war years down the line, let's switch back to the Pandavas. Out in the forest, they're facing a much more immediate problem, a crisis that's going to test their virtue like never before.
This was the question absolutely torturing King Yudhishthira. See, he wasn't exiled alone. Thousands of Brahmins, holy men, had followed him out of sheer loyalty. But here he is, a king with no kingdom, no money, and it's just eating him up inside that he can't provide for them. That's a king's most basic duty.
He feels so incredibly guilty that he actually begs the Brahmins to leave him, to go back. He sees their suffering as his own personal failure. This is a massive test of his dharma, his righteous duty. Even without a throne, he feels the full weight of responsibility for his people, and it's a burden that's just crushing it.
But of course, just telling them to leave wasn't a real solution. So, in his desperation, he does what any wise ruler would do. He seeks out his royal priest, Draumya, for some serious spiritual guidance.
And Dhaumya's advice isn't what you'd expect. He doesn't have a practical plan for finding food. Nope. He suggests something much, much deeper. He tells Yudhishthira to perform tapasya, an intense spiritual discipline to earn the favor of the sun god, Surya. And why Surya? Because the sun is the ultimate source of all nourishment on earth.
And Yudhishthira doesn't just go through the motions. He goes all in. He stands in the sacred river Ganges and just prays, pushing his body to the absolute limit. We're talking no food, no water, not even sleep. This is so much more than a simple prayer. It's a profound act of complete surrender, showing his unshakable faith.
And when you show that kind of pure, selfless devotion, well, the universe tends to take notice. What happens next is a divine intervention that solves the king's problem in the most incredible, unexpected way you can imagine.
And then it happens. Surya, the sun god, appears before Yudhishthira in all his radiant glory. He is so moved by the king's selfless devotion that he grants him a powerful boon. He promises to provide food for Yudhishthira and all his followers for their entire time in the forest.
And this is that gift, the Akshaya Patra, which means the inexhaustible vessel. It might look like a simple copper plate, but it's basically a miracle machine. Any food Draupadi puts on it will multiply endlessly, enough to feed thousands of people, right up until the moment she herself has her last meal for the day.
Now think about the scale of this. This isn't just a solution for one dinner. This gift will provide for everyone for the entire 12-year period of their exile in the forest. The king who felt like a failure because he couldn't feed a single person now has the power to feed thousands. Talk about a reversal of fortune. It's an incredible testament to the power of faith.
And really, that brings us to the heart of this entire story. It leaves us with a really profound question to think about, doesn't it? What is the true source of abundance? Is it all about kingdoms and material wealth, or does it actually come from somewhere deeper, from unwavering faith and righteous, selfless action?
Hey, thank you so much for watching. Here at Gyan Kosh, what we're all about is sharing spiritual wisdom. We're a multilingual channel, so you'll find content in English, Hindi, Marathi, and Tamil, and we've got more major languages on the way soon. Our whole goal is to bring you the timeless treasures of Sanatan Dharma in a way that's simple, clear, and really meaningful. On our channel, you're going to find daily videos on incredible texts like the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, the Mahabharata, Lalita Sahasranamam, Devathan Karal, and the Saints of Maharashtra, and they're all in multiple languages. So if you find our content valuable, please subscribe to Gyan Kosh. That way you'll get notified about our daily videos. And don't forget to like, share, and help spread this divine knowledge with your family, your friends, and your community. Let's work together to keep the light of Sanatan Dharma shining bright.